Welcome back. Today, I've got 10 of the wildest, most unbelievable facts you've never heard. These are all true, but sound totally made up. Think secret cities under ice, ancient computers, and a war shorter than your favorite TV episode. Each fact gets crazier as we go, and I guarantee at least one will shock you. We're diving into history, science, and mysteries they never taught you in school. So buckle up. Let's kick off with a secret buried beneath an entire country's ice sheet. This is 10 mind-blowing facts you never knew. Let's go. Number 10. Imagine a secret U.S. military base buried deep under Greenland's ice. Camp Century. Built in 1959, it looked like a science station, but the real mission was Project Iceworm, a plan to hide hundreds of nuclear missiles in tunnels under the ice. The base had labs, a hospital, even a movie theater, all powered by a portable nuclear reactor. The idea? Launch nukes at the Soviet Union from a hidden Arctic fortress. But the ice wasn't stable. The glacier moved, crushing tunnels and warping the city. By 1967, the project was abandoned, leaving behind toxic waste, including radioactive material. The US assumed it would stay buried forever. Now, with climate change melting Greenland's ice, Camp Century's toxic remains could resurface, threatening the environment. A Cold War secret, once frozen and forgotten, is now a ticking time bomb. Sometimes the past refuses to stay buried. The world's most ambitious secret base is about to become a modern disaster. It's a chilling reminder. What we hide today can haunt us tomorrow. The ice is melting, and so are the secrets. Camp Century, once a marvel, now a warning. Who knows what else is hidden beneath the ice? On to the next mind-blowing fact. Next, ancient China's terracotta army, thousands of clay soldiers guarding Emperor Qin Shi Huang's tomb. But recent digs revealed more than warriors. Archaeologists found life-sized terracotta acrobats, strongmen, dancers, and musicians. The emperor wasn't just building an army, he wanted an afterlife filled with entertainment. Alongside soldiers, there were entertainers and even bronze birds set by an artificial river. This wasn't just a tomb, it was a replica of the emperor's entire world, complete with a court, performers, and nature. Qin Shi Huang's obsession with immortality meant he planned to rule and party forever. The terracotta army is just one piece of a much bigger, stranger puzzle. Every new discovery shows how far he went to recreate his empire for eternity. It's a glimpse into the mind of a ruler who wanted it all, even after death. What else is still buried, waiting to be found? The emperor's secrets keep getting weirder. Let's move on. Meet the SR-71 Blackbird, the fastest air-breathing plane ever. Built for Cold War spying, it flew over Mach 3.3, faster than a rifle bullet. If a missile was launched at it, pilots didn't dodge, they just sped up and outran it. Over 4,000 missiles fired, not one Blackbird shot down. Its titanium body expanded from heat, so it leaked fuel on the runway and refueled mid-air. Pilots wore spacesuits, flying at 85,000 feet, seeing the Earth's curve. The Blackbird was a technological marvel, untouchable, unstoppable. It was a symbol. America could go anywhere, anytime, and no one could stop them. Even today, nothing else comes close. The SR-71 wasn't just a plane, it was a legend, proof that sometimes speed really is the best defense. The sky was its playground. Next up, a prophecy that still gives people chills. Nostradamus, history's most famous prophet, wrote cryptic verses in the 1500s. Some claim he predicted 9/11ths, pointing to lines about earth-shaking fire in a new city and two great rocks. Believers see the Twin Towers in New York in his words. But skeptics say his prophecies are so vague you can fit them to almost any event after the fact. No one predicted 9/11ths from his writings before it happened. Is it prophecy, coincidence, or just creative interpretation? The mystery endures, fueling endless debate. Sometimes we see what we want to see in history's riddles. What do you think? In 1901, divers off Greece found a corroded bronze lump, the Antikythera mechanism. Turns out it's a 2000-year-old analog computer packed with over 30 gears. It predicted planetary positions, eclipses, and even tracked the ancient Olympics. Nothing this complex appeared again for 1,000 years. It's like finding a smartphone in a pyramid, totally out of place. The mechanism rewrites what we thought ancient engineers could do. Was it a one-off, or did we lose a whole tradition of ancient tech? Most of its secrets are still lost to time. It's a humbling reminder. History isn't always a straight line. Sometimes knowledge vanishes for centuries. What else is waiting to be rediscovered? The past is full of surprises. In 1896, the Anglo-Zanzibar War lasted just 38 minutes, the shortest war ever. Zanzibar's sultan seized power without British approval. The British gave him an ultimatum: leave the palace or face attack. He refused, barricaded himself, and gathered troops. At 9:02 a.m., British warships opened fire, obliterating the wooden palace. Zanzibar's only warship fired back, but was sunk in minutes. By 9:40 a.m., the war was over. The Sultan fled. The British installed their own ruler. Around 500 Zanzibari casualties, one British sailor slightly injured. It was less a war, more a violent eviction. The whole thing was over before most people finished breakfast. A brutal lesson in colonial power. Never bring a yacht to a battleship fight. Sometimes, history's biggest events are over in a blink. The shortest war ever, proof that not all wars drag on. On to the next secret. Vatican City's Swiss Guard. Colorful uniforms, centuries-old tradition, and deadly serious skills. Don't be fooled by the Renaissance outfits. These are elite soldiers trained in both ancient weapons and modern security. To join, you must be a Swiss Catholic, complete military training, and meet strict requirements. Their most famous moment, 1527, when they died defending the Pope during the sack of Rome. Today, they're experts in everything from halberds to counterterrorism. They're the Pope's secret service hiding modern muscle behind historic pageantry. Every May, new recruits swear loyalty on the anniversary of their legendary last stand. Next time you see them, remember, they're not just for show. The Swiss Guard is a living link to history and a real-life secret army. The Vatican's protectors are as fierce as they are flashy. The Nazca Lines, giant drawings etched into Peru's desert, only visible from the sky. Created over 1,500 years ago, they include animals, spirals, and even a figure called the astronaut. Why did the Nazca people make them? Theories range from astronomical calendars to offerings for the gods. Some say they were messages or runways for ancient aliens, though there's no evidence for that. The real reason remains a mystery. The lines are a massive, ancient art gallery with an unknown audience. We know how they were made, but not why. They're a testament to human creativity and imagination. Sometimes the biggest mysteries are right beneath our feet. The Nazca Lines, art, science, or something else entirely. The Library of Alexandria. Legend says it burned in a single night, erasing centuries of knowledge. The truth? Its destruction was slow, happening over centuries through fires, neglect, and political turmoil. Caesar's fire in 48 BC damaged part of the collection, but the main library survived. Later, funding cuts, wars, and religious strife chipped away at its legacy. By the time of the Arab conquest, the library was already a shadow of its former self. The famous story of a single catastrophic fire is mostly myth. The real tragedy, knowledge lost not in a blaze but through slow decay and indifference. It's a warning. Protecting knowledge takes constant effort. The greatest library faded away, not with a bang, but a whimper. History's biggest loss wasn't sudden, it was preventable. Let's not repeat that mistake. In 1977, NASA's Voyager probes left Earth carrying the Golden Record, a message for aliens. It's a gold-plated disc with 115 images, greetings in 55 languages, and sounds from Earth: rain, whales, laughter, and more. The music? Everything from Bach and Beethoven to Chuck Berry and traditional songs from around the world. Carl Sagan led the team that chose what to include. No pressure, just representing all of humanity. The Voyagers are now in interstellar space, the farthest human-made objects ever. The Golden Record is our cosmic mixtape, drifting for billions of years. If aliens ever find it, their first taste of humanity might be Johnny be good. It's a hopeful message. We were here, and we wanted to say hello. The ultimate time capsule, floating in the dark. Our legacy, sent to the stars. Who knows if anyone will ever hear it, but we sent it anyway. Number 10 is straight out of a comic book, Operation X-Ray. The US military's plan to use bats as weapons in World War II. It sounds like something a mad scientist would dream up. but this was a real top-secret project, born out of desperation and creativity during one of history's darkest times. As the war raged on, military minds were searching for any edge, no matter how unconventional. The idea? Strap tiny incendiary bombs to thousands of bats and drop them over Japanese cities at dawn. The bats, released from special canisters, would scatter and seek shelter in the nooks and crannies of buildings, especially the wooden ones that made up much of Japan's urban landscape at the time. The bats would roost in wooden buildings, and when the timers went off, fires would ignite everywhere at once. The hope was that these small, scattered fires would overwhelm firefighting efforts, causing chaos and destruction far beyond what a single bomb could achieve. It was tested and worked a little too well. During one trial, some of the bats escaped and accidentally set fire to a U.S. Army airfield, torching a general's car and several buildings. The unintended destruction proved the concept's effectiveness, but also highlighted just how unpredictable and risky it was. The project was nearly ready to launch, with thousands of bats and hundreds of tiny bombs prepped for action. Teams of scientists, engineers, and handlers had spent months perfecting the release mechanisms and bomb designs, convinced this bizarre weapon could change the course of the war. But then, the Manhattan Project, yes, the atomic bomb, took priority, and bat bombs were scrapped. The world's first nuclear weapon was seen as the ultimate game changer, and all resources shifted to making it a reality. Imagine that meeting. "Sir, the bat bombs are ready." "Forget it, Johnson, we've got something bigger." The bat bomb team's months of work were suddenly obsolete, their wild idea overshadowed by the dawn of the atomic age. The only thing that stopped bat bombs was the invention of the atomic bomb. Operation X-ray faded into obscurity, a strange footnote in the annals of military history, overshadowed by the terrifying power of nuclear weapons. Sometimes truth really is stranger than fiction. The story of the bat bombs reminds us that in times of war, even the wildest ideas can be taken seriously, and that history is full of surprises waiting to be discovered. Number 9 is a real-life spy story that, against all odds, helped save the world from disaster. It's a tale of secret messages, tense negotiations, and a single silent gesture that changed the course of history forever. In October 1962, the Cuban Missile Crisis brought the United States and the Soviet Union to the very edge of nuclear war. For 13 days, the world held its breath as both superpowers prepared for a conflict that could have wiped out millions of lives in an instant. Missiles were being readied, military leaders were on high alert, and ordinary people everywhere feared the worst. Official talks between the two governments stalled, and hope for a peaceful solution seemed to be slipping away. But behind the scenes, a KGB agent and an ABC News reporter risked everything to meet secretly in Washington, D.C. In a shadowy restaurant, they exchanged information that would become the key to ending the standoff. Through these back-channel communications, the Soviets quietly offered a deal. They would remove their nuclear missiles from Cuba if the United States promised not to invade the island. It was a delicate proposal, and both sides knew that even the smallest misstep could lead to catastrophe. To confirm the secret agreement, the negotiators arranged for a discreet handshake between diplomats at the United Nations. This handshake would serve as a silent signal that both sides were ready to honor the deal, without alerting the world to the fragile peace being brokered behind closed doors. The handshake took place just as planned. With that simple gesture, the deal was sealed. The world stepped back from the brink, and the threat of nuclear war faded. News soon spread that the crisis was over, and people everywhere celebrated the return of peace. It's astonishing to think that a single handshake exchanged in a crowded room could save millions of lives. But sometimes, the fate of the world really does rest on the smallest, quietest moments. In the end, history can turn on a gesture as simple as a handshake. Incredible, isn't it? Number 8 is for aviation fans, the Lockheed SR-71 Blackbird. This aircraft isn't just fast, it's a marvel of engineering, a symbol of Cold War innovation, and a testament to human ingenuity. Nicknamed the Blackbird, it was designed to be untouchable, flying higher and faster than anything else in the sky. Built in the 1960s by Lockheed's legendary Skunk Works team, this spy plane could fly at speeds exceeding 2,200 miles per hour, faster than a rifle bullet. Its engines roared with power, pushing the limits of what was possible at the time. The SR-71 could cross continents in just a few hours, making it the fastest air-breathing manned aircraft ever built. It soared at 85,000 feet, so high that pilots needed to wear full pressure suits similar to those worn by astronauts. From that altitude, they could see the curvature of the Earth and the deep blue of the atmosphere fading into the blackness of space. Flying the SR-71 was as close as you could get to being an astronaut without leaving the planet. The Blackbird's titanium body was a technological marvel. It leaked fuel on the runway, a quirk of its design, because the panels only sealed tightly at the extreme temperatures generated by high-speed flight. This unique feature was necessary to withstand the intense heat and stress of Mach 3 speeds. Its mission was daring and dangerous: fly deep into enemy territory, snap high-resolution photos with advanced cameras, and escape before anyone could react. The SR-71 gathered crucial intelligence, providing information that shaped world events and military strategies. Over 4,000 missiles were fired at it during its service, but none ever hit. The Blackbird's speed and altitude made it nearly impossible to catch, and it became a nightmare for enemy defenses. If a missile was launched, the pilot simply pushed the throttle forward, accelerating and outrunning the threat with ease. The SR-71 could outpace danger, leaving missiles far behind in its vapor trail. The SR-71 was never shot down in its entire service, a record that stands as a testament to its design and the skill of its pilots. It returned from every mission, often with enemy forces left baffled and frustrated. It wasn't just a plane, it was a legend, inspiring awe in all who saw it. The Blackbird remains an icon of speed, stealth, and technological achievement, a true masterpiece of aviation history. Number 7 is a chilling mystery. Nostradamus, the famous seer, predicted his own death. On July 1st, 1566, he told his secretary, "You will not find me alive at sunrise." The next morning, he was found dead just as he'd said. Was it a lucky guess from a sick man, or a final, eerie prophecy? Whether you believe in his powers or not, it's a story that gives you goosebumps. Number 6 takes us to the atomic scale, the atomic force microscope, or AFM. This machine doesn't use light. It feels surfaces with a tip just a few atoms wide. It can map and even move individual atoms, letting scientists spell out words with atoms as ink. In 1989, IBM used it to write their logo with 35 xenon atoms. The AFM can move a single human hair without touching it, using only atomic forces. It's the most precise, delicate machine ever built, opening a window into worlds we never imagined. Number 5 is a true unsolved mystery: the disappearance of an entire Inuit village at Anjikuni Lake, Canada in 1930. A trapper arrived to find the village empty, food left cooking, kayaks abandoned, even sled dogs starved and tied up. The villagers' graves were opened, bodies missing, and no tracks or clues were found. 30 people vanished without a trace. Theories range from alien abduction to supernatural events, but to this day, no one knows what happened. It remains one of history's most chilling disappearances. Number 4 rewrites history. Göbekli Tepe in Turkey, the world's oldest known temple. Built 12,000 years ago, twice as old as the pyramids, it features massive stone pillars carved with animals. It was constructed by hunter-gatherers before farming, writing, or the wheel. This discovery flipped archaeology on its head. Instead of religion coming after agriculture, Göbekli Tepe suggests people built temples first, and farming followed to support the builders. The desire for community and belief may have sparked civilization itself. It's a site that changes everything we thought we knew about our past. Number 3 is a place you can visit, the Mystery Spot in Santa Cruz, California. Inside this gravitational anomaly, balls roll uphill, people stand at impossible angles, and compasses spin. Scientists say it's a clever optical illusion, but visitors report dizziness and strange sensations. Even knowing the science, your brain can't make sense of what you see. For a moment, physics just doesn't seem to apply. Number 2 is a sobering fact: the Battle of Stalingrad, the bloodiest battle in history. Fought from 1942 to 1943, it was a brutal street-by-street fight between Nazi Germany and the Soviet Union. Life expectancy for new soldiers was sometimes less than 24 hours. Nearly 2 million people, soldiers and civilians, died in the battle. The German army was destroyed and the tide of World War II turned. Stalingrad is a chilling reminder of war's unimaginable cost. Number 1 takes us off Earth. Neil Armstrong's footprint on the moon. On July 20, 1969, Armstrong became the first human to walk on another world, leaving a boot print in lunar dust. Unlike Earth, the moon has no wind or rain, so that footprint is still there, perfectly preserved. It could last for millions of years, long after our cities are gone. A simple footprint, a message to the cosmos. For a brief moment, humanity reached for the stars. That's the most mind-blowing fact of all. Number 10. The Ghost Army. During Wu, the Allies needed a secret weapon for D-Day, so they turned to artists, sound engineers, and actors. Their mission? Fool the Nazis with a fake army. They used inflatable tanks, rubber airplanes, and trucks that looked real from the sky. At night, they'd set up these decoys in strategic formations. Sound engineers blasted recordings of tanks and troops, making a handful of men sound like thousands. Actors dressed as officers, spreading fake intel in local cafes, knowing German spies were listening. They even faked radio chatter to complete the illusion. The operation, codenamed Quicksilver, worked. The Germans moved troops to the wrong spot, saving countless Allied lives. The Ghost Army's work was top secret for 50 years. An army of artists and tricksters helped win the war, with rubber and sound. Sometimes the best weapon is pure imagination. You can't make this stuff up. Reality out Hollywooded Hollywood. That's the Ghost Army. On to the next. Number 9. Surviving the impossible twice. Tsutomu Yamaguchi was in Hiroshima on August 6, 1945, when the atomic bomb fell. He survived, badly burned, and made his way home, to Nagasaki. Just 3 days later, as he described the Hiroshima blast to his boss, the second bomb detonated. Yamaguchi was again less than 2 miles from ground zero and survived a second time. His wife and son also made it through. He lived to 93, becoming a voice for nuclear disarmament, the only person officially recognized as surviving both atomic bombings. Talk about resilience. Sometimes truth is more unbelievable than fiction. Yamaguchi's story is a testament to human endurance. He turned tragedy into a lifelong mission for peace. 2 bombs, 1 survivor. That's a story for the ages. Let's keep going. Number 8 is just as wild. Ready? Number 8. The Pigeon Autopilot. In 1911, early flight was dangerous. Planes were flimsy, and pilots risked their lives every time. One pilot carried a messenger pigeon for emergencies. During a flight, his plane went into a deadly dive. The pigeon's cage burst open, and the bird flapped wildly in the cockpit. In a freak accident, the pigeon landed on the control stick, shifting it just enough to pull the plane out of its nosedive. The pilot regained control and landed safely. Newspapers reported the story as true. A pigeon had saved the day. Sometimes, luck comes with feathers. Early aviation was full of surprises. A bird as a co-pilot? Only in real life. The wildest autopilot ever. Let's move on to number 7. This one's about a prophecy that came true. Buckle up. Number 7. A chilling prophecy. In 1935, before World War II, Cardinal Angelo Roncalli, later Pope John XXIII, wrote of a terrible war starting in Europe after 3 years and a little more. 4 years later, World War II began with Germany's invasion of Poland. His prediction was eerily accurate. Was it insight, luck, or something more? The prophecy was rediscovered after he became Pope, adding to his mystique. Sometimes, history gives us goosebumps. A specific, terrifying prediction, fulfilled. Coincidence or foresight? On to number 6, ancient tech that still baffles us. Number 6, ancient earthquake tech. In 132 AD, Chinese inventor Zhang Heng built a seismoscope, a bronze vase with dragon heads and toads. When an earthquake struck, a dragon dropped a ball into a toad's mouth, indicating the quake's direction. It could detect quakes hundreds of miles away, centuries before modern seismographs. Officials doubted it, until a distant quake proved it worked. The original mechanism is still a mystery. Nearly 2,000 years later, no one's sure how it functioned. Ancient science, unsolved. Next up, a Roman emperor's war on the sea. Number 5. Caligula versus the ocean. Roman Emperor Caligula planned to invade Britain, but the mission was cancelled. Furious, he blamed the sea and declared war on it. He ordered his soldiers to attack the waves with swords and spears. After defeating the sea, he had them collect seashells as spoils of war. The shells were paraded through Rome as trophies. Caligula's soldiers were hailed as heroes who conquered Neptune. History's strangest victory parade. You can't make this up. Sometimes, reality is pure absurdity. Caligula, the emperor who fought the ocean and won. On to number 4, a Bible written in blood. Yes, really, let's go. Number 4, the blood-written Bible. In the 1600s, a monk decided to copy the entire Bible using his own blood as ink. He painstakingly wrote over 2,500 pages, drawing blood from himself for years. The ultimate act of devotion or obsession. The fate of the manuscript is unknown. Some say it was hidden, others say lost. A chilling legend of faith and sacrifice. The Bible, written in the very substance of life. Extreme belief, immortalized in ink and blood. Sometimes truth is stranger and darker than fiction. Ready for number 3? Rocks that move by themselves. Let's roll, literally. Number 3. The sailing stones of Death Valley. On Racetrack Playa, massive rocks, some weighing hundreds of pounds, mysteriously glide across the desert floor, leaving long trails. For decades, no one saw them move. Theories ranged from aliens to pranksters, but the truth is even weirder. In 2014, scientists discovered the rocks move when rare conditions align. Rain floods the playa, thin ice forms, then breaks up and pushed by wind acts like sails, dragging the rocks across the mud. No footprints, no tricks, just nature's perfect storm. Rocks that sail on ice and wind. A mystery solved, but still magical. Sometimes the world is its own magician. Next, a lost city in the Amazon. You won't believe what's been hiding under the trees. Number 2, the Amazon's hidden civilization. In 2022, LiDAR scans revealed a massive ancient city beneath the Ecuadorian jungle, older than Rome. The Upano people built roads, canals, and thousands of platforms, supporting tens of thousands of residents. The Amazon wasn't untouched wilderness. It was home to a vast, complex society. This discovery rewrites history, a real lost city, hidden for centuries. What else is waiting under the canopy? Sometimes legends are true. El Dorado found at last. Now for our number 1 mind-blower, a star that defies physics. Number 1. Tabby's star, the universe's biggest mystery. 1,500 light-years away, this star dims by up to 22% at random intervals, far more than any planet could cause. Scientists have ruled out comets, debris, and natural explanations. The wildest theory? An alien megastructure, like a Dyson swarm, blocking the light. No one knows for sure. Tabby's star remains an unsolved cosmic riddle. Sometimes the universe just won't give up its secrets. Is it aliens, physics gone wild, or something we can't even imagine? The cosmos keeps us guessing. That's our countdown. But don't go yet. Let's wrap up. Stay curious. That's our show. From ghost armies to alien stars, reality is wilder than fiction. Which fact blew your mind? Drop your favorite in the comments. If you enjoyed this, hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more unbelievable stories. Thanks for watching and hanging out with me. You're the best audience ever. See you next time. Stay curious.